go out of your land, go out of your birthplace, and go to the land that I will show you. So Rashi looks at the words Lech Licha, which literally mean go to you. Rashi explains Lech Licha means go for yourself. It's for yourself. This is your benefit. This is your goodness. This is something which will give you, which will benefit you. So Rashi understands this in the word Licha. Licha is saying it's for you. You're going to gain from this. And how will you gain? Rashi says, by going out of Israel, by going out of your land to the land of Israel, you will become a great nation. And more, Hashem tells Avram, I will publicize who you are in the world. That's what the first Rashi says. This is a good thing. This will be good for you. This will help you. In the second Rashi says something else. Rashi says, because Avram was going on a journey, and usually when you go on a journey, this causes there to be a diminishment. It causes there to be less children, less money, less fame. It's what happens when a person's on traveling around. So therefore, God promised Avram that you will not experience this. You will have these three blessings. Despite the fact that you're going on a journey, you're still going to gain in all these areas. You're not going to lose out. So it seems like the first Rashi and the second Rashi are a contradiction to each other. Because the first Rashi says, this journey is a good thing for you. It's a good thing. It's going to help you. The second Rashi says, the journey is not a good thing for you, but I'm going to give you a blessing because I know that a journey usually subtracts from you, takes away from you. In other words, does the journey add to you? And as Rashi says in the first Rashi, this is your benefit, this is your goodness, this is something that will help you? Or is the journey something that's going to be difficult for you, and because it's going to be difficult, therefore to give you all these blessings? Which one is it? Is it a good thing, or is it not a good thing? So, another issue is that it seems that in order to inspire Avram to want to leave, to go out on this journey, according to the second Rashi, God told Avram to go. He's ready to go. Hashem said, go, it's time to go. The fact that he'll have benefit from it wasn't something that was necessary to motivate Avram. Just go on the journey. And by the way, you'll be okay. But according to the first Rashi, it sounds like that in order to inspire Avram to want to go on the journey, Hashem told him, you should know you're going to gain from this. This will be good for you. This will benefit you. And Hashem is telling this to him to inspire him to want to go. So which one is it? Is this something that he wants to do himself because Hashem said so? Or is it something that he only wants to go because it's going to because you're going to benefit from it? Which one is it? So the answer is like this. The Rambam says that Avram was called Oyhavi. Avram was called the one who loves me. The Rambam says we shouldn't do mitzvahs because of the benefit we get from them. Rather, Oy says that emes leishu emes should do the truth because the truth is true. And like Avram Avinu, who only served Hashem because of the truth. So if Avram Avinu is on that level, that he's not thinking of any personal benefit, so why is it that Hashem has to mention reward, period? In the Torah in general, we find that the Torah associates keeping God's commandments with reward. Hashem says, if you'll keep my mitzvahs, you'll get a reward. But in other verses, it sounds more like there's A and there's B. Do this, you'll get that. In this verse, it's much more of a problem. In this verse, it says, do the mitzvah, this will benefit you. It sounds like, what is a mitzvah about? A mitzvah is about your benefit. But a mitzvah is much more than your benefit. A mitzvah is not just you're doing it because you'll gain from it. That's not what a mitzvah is about. A mitzvah, you do because God said so. God doesn't take away any person's reward. God tells us also to, someone does something for you, you should always show gratitude to them. But not because intrinsically the mitzvah is about benefit, but it's more like God gives us a reward because he doesn't. It's more like a negative thing. I'm not going to not give you reward. You did something, so you deserve reward. So I'm going to give you reward. But it's not what the mitzvah is about. The mitzvah is not about the reward. The mitzvah has a reward. But it's not about the reward. But the way the Torah phrases it here, it sounds like the opposite. It sounds like this is about a reward. Go for you. You should listen to me because this is something you will gain by. Do this because this is good for you. How can you say a mitzvah is just about personal gain? Let's say it's talking about spiritual gain, a spiritual benefit, not a physical benefit, but still. How can you say a mitzvah just for the selfish purpose of what I'm going to gain? A mitzvah is the will of Hashem. Especially, this is a question about Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu is someone who is the one who the Rambam describes as the highest level of the service of Hashem, who does the truth because it's true, he loves Hashem. So why are we what's Avram's benefit, Avram's gain? Avram cares about his benefit and his gain. Avram's benefit is, even more, what does the Torah say? What's his benefit? What's his gain? What's he going to gain? Hashem is going to publicize his greatness. Whoa! Avraham Avinu is a guy who we know, he says about himself, I am dust and ashes. He doesn't care at all about his fame. He is totally the most humble person. You're offering someone watermelon who hates watermelon. I mean, what's the meaning of Avraham Avinu being offered? This is going to benefit from this. You're going to like this. Why? Going to publicize your name in the world. What does Avraham Avinu think about publicity? What does he like? That's a way to entice him. So the answer is like this: a mitzvah is the will of Hashem, and the will of Hashem and Hashem Himself are one. And just like Hashem has no limitations, no spiritual, no physical limitations, so too a mitzvah has no limitations whatsoever. The reason why a mitzvah brings benefit to us in this world is because a mitzvah is infinite. A mitzvah, the infinity in the mitzvah is that it's not, the expression of the infinity of a mitzvah is, it doesn't only help you spiritually, it doesn't only help you in some higher world. The mitzvah is just like God is infinite, the mitzvah is infinite, and it brings you benefit in this world as well. It's not just about what it gives you in the next world, or it gives you something in your neshama. It's just like God is infinite, the mitzvah is infinite, and it brings you infinite goodness. So this helps us explain how the Rambam says to educate children. The Rambam says the way to educate children is you should tell the child that if you keep these mitzvahs, I'm going to give you a reward. And tell the child I'm going to give you nuts and raisins, right? Nuts and raisins, maybe working time at Rambam, maybe today the equivalent would be like an Audi or something. Anyways, but you tell the child, it's going to be good for you. You're going to enjoy this. This is something you'll like, something that you'll enjoy. And the child gets older, you offer him something that he'll like at an older age. He likes money, offer him money. Offer the child things that those are good things in order to encourage the child. So it seems like you're offering the child something which has nothing to do with the mitzvah. The mitzvah is the will of God. And you're offering him candy. You're offering him money. But the truth is, it's not something strange. It's not something which has nothing to do with the mitzvah. The truth is that a mitzvah brings all kinds of goodness. A mitzvah is God's will. And just like God has no limit, the mitzvah has no limit. And therefore the mitzvah is not just something that brings a spiritual benefit, it brings a physical benefit. Not just any physical benefit, but all physical benefits. The mitzvah brings all blessings with it, because a mitzvah is one with God. So the fact that a mitzvah has a benefit to us is not, as we thought before, something that is just like Hashem is giving it to us because Hashem, you have to do gratitude. Hashem wants us to express gratitude. He also expresses gratitude. You cannot give a reward. Rather, it's like the Shalah says. The Shalah says that the reason Hashem rewards us for doing mitzvahs is natural. It's not like, analogy I think is, you tell a child, look 2 ways before you cross the street, and if you do, I'll give you a lollipop. So the child gains in 2 ways for looking both ways for crossing the street. He gains naturally, because he's now safe. He also gains now in some heroic intervention that you gave in the child's life. You brought something that's not natural. You brought them the lollipop, which is not part of the child's, not part of the expectancy based upon the nature of the world. You want something in that's new. So how does a mitzvah bring reward? Does a mitzvah bring reward like the lollipop or like the safety? And the Shalah says it's like the safety. the mitzvah naturally brings benefit to you. It's natural. There's a cause and effect. You did a mitzvah, there is a benefit. There's a physical and a spiritual benefit. Why? Because the mitzvah is one with Hashem. So it's not that Hashem is giving you a reward because He doesn't want to not give you a reward, because He wants to express gratitude to you. It's not for some other reason. Rather, the mitzvah itself brings benefit because the mitzvah is the will of Hashem, and Hashem is infinite, and the mitzvah also has infinite goodness in it, and therefore brings benefit in all areas of life. And that's why the Torah says, that explains by Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, Hashem told him, go on this journey. Go on this journey, for your benefit, for your enjoyment. What does that mean? Just like Hashem gives us a reward for the mitzvah, because the mitzvah itself is a good thing, so too, a servant of Hashem looks at the reward for mitzvahs as something that's good because it's godly. In other words, the mitzvah has a physical abundance that comes with it because of the godly nature of a mitzvah. And so to the servant of Hashem, who is receiving the reward for Hashem for doing the mitzvah, he looks at the physical reward as part of the service of Hashem. Avraham Avinu is going on a journey. He's leaving Israel. He's going to a new place. Who is Avram? He is the guy in the world who is God's representative. He is the CEO, so to speak, of God's company. He is the one that represents what happens if you serve God. So Avraham Avinu wants the world to see, hey, you listen to God, it doesn't mess you up. On the contrary, you listen to God, all good things happen to you. So Avraham Avinu's benefit, that he's going to get rich, he's going to become famous, he's going to have children, all those things aren't things that Avraham Avinu wants just for himself. Avraham Avinu wants those things because those things will express God's greatness. Avraham is told by Hashem, you do this, I'm going to publicize you. I'm going to publicize how great you are. What does Avraham Avinu care about publicity? You asked before. You're offering watermelon to someone who hates watermelon. And the answer is no, Avraham Avinu loves watermelon. Why? Because Avraham Avinu, his life is about revealing Hashem in the world. So if Avraham Avinu has publicity, who has publicity? Hashem has publicity. It's not about Avraham, it's about Hashem. This explains something else. The Gemara says, is that the answer? Yeah. So the two verses aren't a contradiction to each other. We've thought before, one verse is saying the journey is going to mess you up. One verse is saying the journey is going to help you. The answer is that these two verses are symmetrical. One continues the other. Hashem says, go on this journey. This is a journey I'm telling you to go on. And since this is a journey I'm telling you to go on, it's a mitzvah of Hashem, it's going to bring benefit. God's mitzvahs bring benefit. God's mitzvahs are infinite, they bring physical benefit as well. And not only do they bring benefit, but even in scenarios where in the world there's a natural cause for you to lose, because usually a journey takes away children, takes away fame, takes away money. Here, because it's a mitzvah of Hashem, because God is telling you to do this, all those physical and natural consequences that a journey usually brings with them is not going to happen, because the mitzvah is infinite. The mitzvah has no limitations, and therefore not only will it bring benefit, it will even bring benefit in a scenario where there are challenges, where there are natural challenges to having goodness in your life. They'll still bring benefit to you despite all these challenges, because the mitzvah is infinite, and therefore it goes beyond nature. And so, although in all these scenarios of the journey, on all other scenarios of journey, it messes you up in all these three areas, but in this scenario won't. Why won't it? Because the mitzvah of Hashem. This also helps us understand also the Gemara. The Gemara says, a person should always learn Torah and do mitzvahs for the wrong reasons, because eventually you do them for the right reasons. Right? Mitech shalei lishma, bo lishma. Psachim daf nun beis, right? Nun beis and psachim. Nun aleph, something over there. So the Gemara sounds like it's saying, do mitzvahs now for the wrong reasons, and eventually one day you do it for the right reasons. But Chassidus explains the deeper meaning to the Gemara. Chassidus explains two deeper layers of this Gemara. The first layer is like this. You're doing the mitzvah because the Torah says if you keep mitzvahs, you'll have rain. You want rain. You're interested in rain. You have a farm. You want rain. Or you're working on 6th and Hill and you want customers. So you want customers. So you do mitzvahs to get customers. So you have one thing in mind, and God has something else in mind. You have your selfish motive why doing mitzvahs, and God has His will. He wants the mitzvah because of the mitzvah. But the Chassidus says, look at the words carefully in the Gemara. It's mitoich shalei lishma ba lishma. Within the person who wants the mitzvah for the wrong reason, there is actually a desire in him for the mitzvah itself. He says he wants the customers. That's what he says. That's just external. But if you look into his soul would say, I want the mitzvah. I want the will of Hashem. The fact that he says he wants the customers, he wants the rain, that's not who he is. That's external. The real Jew is the one who wants, the deepest and most realist part of him says, I want the mitzvah because of the mitzvah itself. Mitoich, inside the person who's saying, I want it for something else, there's Lishma. It's not that one day he'll want it for the right reasons. Inside him right now, what does he want the mitzvah for? It's because of Lishma. That's who he is. That's the first explanation of Chassidus. The Chassidus goes even deeper. Even the fact that he wants customers, the fact that he wants rain, look what's going inside that, let's dissect that. He's a Jew. What's motivating him that he wants to have customers? Why does he care about customers? He wants to make money. Why does he want to make money? He's a Jew. Why does the neshama want? His neshama wants that too. His neshama wants customers, and the neshama wants rain because the rain and the customers will help him fulfill the will of Hashem in the world. There's a teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. They were hungry, they were thirsty, their souls were wrapped within. Baal Shem Tov says, you feel you're hungry, you feel you're thirsty, but you know what's really going on. You know why you're hungry, you know why you're thirsty. Is because your neshama wants a spark of Hashem in the food. Doesn't work all the time, meaning it's not everything you want is automatically because your soul wants it, but something that your body really needs. The reason your body really needs it really is because your neshama, Hashem orchestrated creation to be in the way that whatever your neshama needs is going to alert your body. Your neshama needs the sparks of Hashem in the food, and therefore you feel a hunger in the body. It's kind of like we learned in Hayom Yom last week. What does Hayom Yom say last week? It says that a tzaddik goes to where he needs to go to elevate the sparks there. And all of us, we don't know about the sparks. We go where we think we need to go because of whatever physical reasons we need to go. And that's where Hashem planned those divine sparks that we have to encounter. Lech, God is telling Avraham Avinu to go on his journey where he needs to go for his mission. And so to all of us, our physical needs, our physical desires, if you dissect them, look inside the Jew, why does he want those things? It's because the neshama wants it. Because those sparks of godliness in those dollars that he could use to make something spiritual out of that. As the Alter says, Hashem blesses Jewish people with physical abundance. With the physical abundance, they create something spiritual. They create spiritual abundance. The more physical blessings that you have, the more spirituality is able to create. So it's not that Hashem gave Avraham Avinu some foreign war he doesn't care about. No. Avram cared about the fame and he cared about the money. Why? And he cared about having children because all of this is part and parcel of his mission, of his service of Hashem. And this is not just true for Avram, it's also true for all of Avram's children, all the Jewish people. So you meet a Jew, and you are trying to inspire the Jew, let's say, to put on tefillin, or to keep shabbos, to keep kosher. What's going to work? What kind of argument is going to work? You tell the guy you should put on tefillin because this is the will of God. Not necessarily is it going to work. You tell the guy you're going to put on tefillin, God will give you a blessing in your life. You can keep Shabbos, God will give you a blessing. So it looks like you're advertising to him something which is not really what the mitzvah is about. Something else, and it's not really what his neshama is about. His neshama wants the mitzvah because the mitzvah itself. But the truth is that what you're doing is absolutely true. It's true, and it's in sync with the person's soul. First of all, although it seems like he doesn't want to do the mitzvah, you're just like, oh, do this. Let me give you a candy. No. Externally, that's the way things are. He's doing the mitzvah just because he's going to gain something. But deep down, why he's doing the mitzvah? He's a guy he's in the street. He doesn't even know what mitzvahs are. But nevertheless, the Rambam says that every single Jew wants to do every mitzvah. That's the nature of the neshama of a Jew. And the fact that you're giving him a candy, you're telling him, oh, you're going to gain physically in the world, that's something that is, you're telling him something that will help expose his neshama. And not only that, even his desire for that candy also is also for that physical benefit he's going to have is also because of his neshama. And therefore we have to invest the greatest strength to inspire people to carry mitzvahs. Don't say, oh, this guy's, it's not real. It's hypocritical. I'm telling you mitzvahs, but those aren't real mitzvahs. No. The oilam, the Gemara says, you should always encourage people to keep mitzvahs for the wrong reasons. Why? Because within the Jew who's saying he wants him for the wrong reason, he wants him for the right reason. And a mitzvah, the word mitzvah in Hebrew means connection. Not just commandment, It means connection. So when he does one mitzvah, what's going to happen? Do another mitzvah. And that will bring him to do all 613 mitzvahs. And that will bring him to have a relationship with Hashem, and so that his inner neshama's voice that he doesn't even hear right now, it's going to be exposed in a way that animates him, that vivifies him, that makes him walk around in a way that his neshama is not he's not walking around, you see soul walking around. How did it start? It started by, you know what, when I put on film, God will bless you. Whatever you're doing. That's what you're saying to him now. But that is going, that's first of all, it's heading towards him having this amazing relationship with Hashem like Avraham Avinu. And second of all, even before he has this amazing relationship, right now, what's really going on in him, his response to you, okay, I'll do this because you said, again, even with right now, what's really going on is the Neshama is responding to the mitzvah. I want this because this is the will of Hashem. And even his desire for the gain, for the physical benefit, is also his Neshama talk. All right, that's what I wanted to share today. Any questions, comments? Go, Zev, you wanted to say something, put in the sound. I couldn't hear you. Hold on a second.
This was perfect after the living Torah lesson.
Right. Yes, Zev.
Similar to the hanukkah mirrors last time.
Yeah. Emes, good luck. All right. A good davach, Psuras Tevis.
How would you go after, like, there's